new cookbook called Clean Green Eats, so we can eat healthier and get rid of those processed foods. Then Avril Dunn, the communications manager for Washington State Wine, is going to talk about a new video they have talking about Washington State, about some of the upcoming events in the area. And if you're heading out to the movies this weekend, Steve Evans is your guy. He's got the Weekend Movie Report. All this and more on the next What's Cooking show from CRN.
Of the animals large and small, sick or injured, don't matter at all. I'm Tina, friend of the critters. I'm Tina, friend to them all. Open up your heart, it's a real good start, and watch them learn to crawl.
This is CRN, the Critter Radio Network, and now it's time for Critter Radio with your host, Tina Marie.
Yay, you're live at Critter Radio. Our headphones are not working, but you know what? It's all good, guys.
We're flying free like birds out of a cage.
I know.
We have no audio, but you can hear us, and that's the most important thing.
I know, it feels really weird right now. Like,
very.
Do you feel
strange.
naked?
I feel naked.
Welcome, Carol Raphael
Hi.
Davis.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
We're so confused. We're like,
no, confused. No, free.
I'm trying to see you through the forest.
Hi.
This is our guest, Whitney Smith.
Whitney Smith. How are you?
Good.
I met you at the protest last week.
Next one, August 1st, will be a Saturday.
August 1st. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
we did a protest.
Yes. We did.
We did a protest. We all
did.
went to a protest last weekend, which is why we were off last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about the protest?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. We should talk about the protest. I was thrilled to see you, by the way, because that was the first time that I protested with you.
Yeah. Well, that was my first protest.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
Isn't that
and
nice?
I got to be honest. Wait,
in your whole life? In your whole life?
In my whole life, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm more of a hands-on kind of girl. Right, Carol?
Well, hands-on with rescue, which is different than animal rights activism.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
What's the difference
But you can put them together.
What's the difference between activist and, I've lost the word. No.
Activism and rescue?
No, activist and
what?
Oh, gosh, I've lost my mind.
Have you?
Yeah.
The difference between an activist and a rescuer?
No. It's, the other one.
I don't know.
The advocate.
Oh, advocate. Advocate is when you speak up for, when you work for, you're an advocate. An activist really connotates a more oppositional approach. It's where you go and you protest and you demonstrate.
Very good.
Just like right out of my head, because you can also be an advocate and an activist.
Well, yes.
You can be a rescuer, an advocate, an activist. You can be all of the above.
Or none.
Or none.
I think I'm all the above now.
You are.
I think I've nailed the whole list.
I think it's really important to, when you finally get out to do your first protest, whatever cause that you are supporting, to really feel that First Amendment right and the freedom that is, and really appreciate it, that you can assemble and speak up, because so many countries in the world you can't. So
yeah, it was my first protest, and I'm going to be honest with you. And
was it kind of exciting?
Not yet. I'm going to be real honest with you.
Okay.
I rescue, or I save a lot of animals. I'm hands on it, all baby everything. The shelter calls me constantly. Actually, we're gonna take a quick break.
But we've got 60 seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be.
But what were you gonna say though about how you rescue animals? It was your first protest, but
when I've seen protests on TV, this is gonna sound bad. I've always thought, God, what are they so angry about? They all look so angry and nasty and mean. Okay.
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
When we come back.
Yeah.
With
Stay
Whitney.
tuned for more Critter Radio.
Yeah, definitely stay
We'll
tuned.
be right back.
And do you have the phone number to call?
Yeah, it's 818-352-7152, Art. 352-7152. I am not together today. Hello, I've been taking care of critters all day, all night, all week, all year. Give me a break. Stay tuned.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Now back to Critter Radio and your host, Tina Marie.
Welcome back to Critter Radio. We are live worldwide, coast to coast. You are listening to CRN Digital Talk. Now, Carol Raphael Davis, I was just in the middle of telling you we were at a protest.
Yeah.
And it was my first protest when normally, before I experienced the protest, I would look at the TV and say, gosh, they're so mean and angry and what's wrong with them? Why are,
Okay.
Okay.
All
Forgive
right.
me. Wait, don't judge.
No, I'm not
hear me
judging
out.
you.
Hear me out. I didn't get it until I experienced it. Everybody was so kind and so nice and so all for they're for the same reason. And it was a very great experience.
Can I explain why people are so angry? And then we're going to talk to our guest, Whitney, why people at protests seem angry.
Yeah.
Can I?
Absolutely.
Let me explain something.
Yeah.
Every bit of social progress in the history of man and woman, every single bit of social progress has always come out of outrage. Mm-hmm. Outrage, anger, because of what? Because of injustice. When you get enough people who get angry about an injustice, no matter what it is, whether it was the American Revolution, the French Revolution where they cut everybody's heads off, the gay rights movement, the suffragist movement, the abolitionist movement, the civil rights movement. If you look at the animal rights movement in the context of history, you will understand every movement because basically they're all the same. It's many, 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 many people speaking out in outrage, in anger against injustice. And only when enough people come out pissed off does anything change at all.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And that's why people seem so angry. They don't seem angry. They are angry.
On TV, yeah. But if you're there with them,
you're a family.
Yeah, everybody is family. And that's what
It's family.
It was great. Yeah.
Once you're in, you're blood.
Once you're in, yeah.
You're blood once you're in.
Everybody was so nice, and everybody had their dogs, and everybody cared, and everybody had a story, and
and you should be precise. And our guest Whitney Smith was at the protest too because she's got her reasons for being angry. We were there because we were protesting in front of Mayor Garcetti's house.
That's right.
Because we want changes at Los Angeles Animal Services, which brings us around the circle to why our guest is here today. Mm-hmm. Our guest Whitney Smith
Hello.
is Hi. Thank you so much for coming all the way out here.
Yes, Whitney.
I just want to introduce her in a way that I know her. Mm-hmm. I know Whitney for years and years and years on the front lines, in the trenches, speaking up, acting out for animals in a way where she puts her own life in danger. And recently, she put her own life in danger, risked it all to save some cats from a wrecking ball in downtown L.A. Whitney, tell us.
Yeah, tell us this story.
Well, yes, I did try to help these cats, but it wasn't after I had gone through every legal channel you could. I had written emails. I contacted all the people in charge.
They were in an abandoned building?
Okay.
Taken?
How many cats?
Okay.
Where?
Okay.
When?
I'll give you the timeline. In the 1970s, there was a huge earthquake. I wasn't here for that one. It destroyed a government building. It sat there for 30 years, abandoned because no one could fix it up and no one had the money to deal with it. Over those 30 years, there were homeless people, and then of course cats were there because I'm sorry to say, but a lot of the workers that work in this in the buildings and government offices abandoned animals because it was very convenient because they saw people were feeding them. Over time, though, getting into the more recent history, people started trapping and fixing them because there was a low fence, there was no security, and people became concerned and started to spay neuter and at least try to control the population. The feeders still fed. Everything was fine.
What are feeders? A lot of people don't know.
A feeder, well, in particular, there are two feeders associated with this location. One's named Margarita and one is named
But what are feeders?
Alicia.
They're people who
they
keep
literally
a colony
come
alive,
every day, rain or shine, with arthritic knees, with no money, because they know the cats are hungry and they have no food source. Because all the homeless people were evacuated from there, and they put up fencing. But the cats were left behind, so there was no one to give them any food. You do not know the definition of the word indefatigable, till you meet Margarita and Alicia.
Are these unsung heroes from downtown
heroes.
LA?
You cannot stop them. In fact, although I was arrested prior to that, Alicia, with her arthritic knees, she's about 73 years old, had someone lift the fence and she rolled underneath the fence because the cats at that time, she was convinced, they were behind a part that had been partially demolished. And she was so determined to get the food there. And she said she was her English is not great, but I could understand. She was saying she was sort of laughing that she saw everybody's feet going by because she was like literally in a ditch. Now she was able to go on and come off without anyone noticing. That did not happen to me. I actually went out there at the last second that I could possibly stop what they were doing.
Well, what was the plan? They were going to destroy. There was going to be a concert.
Okay, so obviously the inconvenient truth of Graffiti Pit is that though these cats were well known, everybody had written about them. When it comes time to demolish the property, the city of Los Angeles got money to purchase the property from the county. At that point, it became owned by the city of Los Angeles. And at that point, they moved forward to demolish what was left of the parking structure and this partially destroyed building. The fact that there were cats living there all these years, and many of them family members, until they started getting spayed and neutered, had lived there, was something that they did reckon, and they made a plan to trap and neuter and remove them. In fact, that was promised to the community that with signage that these cats were going to be all humanely removed and relocated into Shangri-La sanctuaries, et cetera, et cetera.
Who said that they were going to be removed and taken to sanctuaries?
Brenda Barnett, Stray Cat Alliance, and Best Friends.
And when was this?
This was in the summer of 2013.
So they guaranteed that there was going to be money allocated to rounding them up and bringing them to sanctuary?
Brenda claimed that because of the injunction against any TNR that the city, she was only able to chip in $400, but she did authorize that Best Friends could go in and trap. And then after that...
TNR, what's TNR?
Oh, trap, neuter, release. The cats... Officially, the city of Los Angeles can't engage in trapping and neutering and releasing any ferals, even if it's outside of the city of Los Angeles. However, other partners, private partners can do it. There's no law against like a private rescue or a nonprofit.
But no city money can go to trapping, neutering, and releasing.
So
I just want to interject one thing for people who don't understand. Trapping, neutering, and releasing is the way to control a feral cat population. If you trap them and you sterilize them and then put them back where they were, eventually that colony will get smaller and smaller because they won't be reproducing, obviously. So I just wanted to make that clear. Okay.
Yeah.
We're
going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Yeah. Stay tuned for more Critter Radio with Tina, Carol, and Whitney Smith. Thank you for being here. Stay tuned for more.
We will be back to talk to you about this.
Meow.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the Tort Attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
It's Critter Radio with Tina Marie.
Do you remember where you were?
Welcome back, Critter Radio. You're listening to Tina Marie, Carol Raphael Davis, and Whitney Smith. Whitney is in the middle of telling her demolition story.
Her story of heroism.
Thank you,
as far as
Carol.
I'm concerned.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Thanks, Carol.
You wanted to save these cats. They were living in an abandoned.
Yes, they were living an abandoned property that became owned by the city of Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. It was well known. There's many articles about it. It was called Graffiti Pit because people wrote a lot of graffiti on the walls. So what happened is that I lived downtown since 2005, and I walk my dogs by this property every day. And initially in the early years, I didn't get involved because I already had a lot of other colonies and animals I was taking care of, and I could see that there was already feeders. I could see there were ear tips, that many of the cats were ear tipped, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Now, with their ear being tipped, this means they have already been fixed.
And then around 2008 or 9, I actually had conversations with some of the stakeholders that had been helping those cats. I was like, oh, thank the Lord, I don't actually have to get involved with this. It's under control. Well, the Falls Paradise fell apart when the city bought the property. Suddenly, cyclone fence went up. There was rumors that they were going to start the demolition, and that's when I started to really getting concerned because I could see that some, non-productive actions were going, meaning that the people most involved, the people that knew the cats by name, the people that knew exactly how many they were when they came out, were not being included by the city or Stray Cat Alliance or Best Friends to be involved in all of the conversations.
Best Friends
and the
Animal
planning.
Society you're
Yes.
talking about?
Yes.
A large organization that makes close to $60 million a year in donations.
Now you would think that if
Kidding?
you
With
have
all that money, they couldn't just. They could have bought the
With all
damn
that-
building.
Of
with
course
that.
they could. Of course they could, but
Jesus.
they did not. Go
Well,
on.
you would think that you would, to make things really efficient and most humane for the cats, you would want to get at the table the people that could most help you in a very specific way. And the other side, what they claim is that those people that I'm referring to, the feeders, the other people that had spayed and neutered, were not being cooperative, or they didn't want the cats moved. You know what? If someone had just sat down in a humane way and a calm and encouraging and non-combative way and invited these people, they would have been more than happy to help if someone had just, say, shown where the nice sanctuary was that these cats were going to go live out their life. No one ever showed a picture. No one ever gave an address. No one ever invited any kind of dialogue. And I have the emails that show the secrecy, and it was like this giant secret coven of ignore. And
Why, though? Why? What's
because
the
they don't
point?
like to involve the people that
when you
care.
say they, who are you talking about?
Brenda Barnett, the general manager of Los Angeles Animal Services. Christy
boy.
Metropole, who heads the largest stray cat nonprofit in Los Angeles, Stray Cat Alliance, and Best Friends Animal Society. Those all three entities I have in many, many emails that I was writing to them, and they responded as to what we were going to do about these cats in the summer of 2013. In the fall of 2013, all the traps were packed up and left, and yet there were about 25 cats still there.
So the job was not finished.
Correct. At that point, I didn't know when they were actually going to do the demolition. But as the months went by, Christmas came and went. It was January, February. The feeders kept feeding, Alicia and Margarita.
Were they all spayed and neutered at this point?
Everyone that had survived was spayed and neutered. There were a few recent abandoned that had not been. And when they were rescued in 2013, they did have some kittens and I think a pregnant mom that they had trapped. So at this point, it was like the lull before the storm. Everyone knew that they were going to finally demo it, but the cats were still there. And even up to this point, I thought that Stray Cat Alliance, Best Friends, and the general manager would come back and get the last cats, remove them.
Did you call them and say, "What's up? Why aren't you coming back?"
I called, I emailed, I even had a very high, I don't want to name her because I didn't get permission to name her, but I had someone intervene that could call Brenda on the phone.
Wow.
And say, Brenda, their cats are still there. The wrecking crew has already shown up. This is a dire emergency. And she screamed, and I want to use the word scream because that's how it was conveyed to me, screamed at my friend who has done a lot of legislation, and she's a very calm and effective woman, and told her to never call her again, that she had nothing to do with it, and to basically leave me alone forever, and I'm never going to talk to you about it again. And at that point, my friend said, I can't help you anymore. You're on your own because I can't deal with her. I can't.
Boy, Brenda Barnett's got a really
fiery temper.
A real bad name, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's got a really bad reputation with the humane
Brenda
community.
Barnett,
Yeah.
I guess the most astonishing part about this is that
we're gonna have
this
to-
could all
yeah,
happen
take a
right
little
across
bit.
the street from City Hall in broad daylight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know what? We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for,
yeah.
for Critter Radio.
you
Give us
wanna
a call.
Yeah. The
If
number's-
anybody from Best Friends wants to call in, the number is 818-353-1276. Or if anyone from Stray Cat Alliance wants to call in, it's 818-353-1276. I mean, you know, everyone should be able to have their voice heard.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti. And many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanicin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Save a ton of money and stay safe. Handyman Spike Carlson.
Something people should know is where their shutoff valves are. The burst pipe, you should know where the water shutoff valve is, the shutoff valve for your gas is.
And where the main electrical panel is. Another tip?
In every kitchen and in every bathroom and in every garage, there's an outlet that will look a little different than other ones, and that's called the GFCI outlet. And that will have a little reset button on it. And sometimes it's just a matter of hitting that reset button.
What does GFCI stand for?
Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter. And it's a safety device that code has us use in areas where water and electricity are close companions.
Push the button and that socket may start working again. You've saved yourself a pricey house call. Spike Carlson's book is 100 Things Every Homeowner Must Know. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720. Back now to Critter Radio and your host, Tina Marie.
Welcome back to Critter Radio. We are here talking to Whitney Smith and the story. Continue, please.
Okay, so
they weren't helping you.
They weren't helping you.
Okay, so
Brenda Barnett was not helping you.
So the wrecking. So on.
Do you have evidence of that?
Yeah.
That they weren't helping you?
Yes.
What kind of evidence?
Yeah, I have emails with everyone's name on them.
Were they just say, "I'm not going to"?
You got them with you?
I have many.
Can I see them?
Sure. I have.
While you're looking, so in the emails, you've directly asked the people to help. Yes. And they have told you in writing that they won't? Or
The argument they used is, we did our job and we humanely removed all of the cats we could in 2013. If there are cats there, no one ever, the interesting part of this is no one denies that there were cats there.
Yeah.
They just called them new cats or cats that had come since the original.
And that was their, that's their story.
Is that an excuse?
That's
yes.
an excuse.
So I guess that it's then you can crush to death new cats, but the original cats, they did their job and took them away. That's the best way I can.
Okay, that's
it's the inconvenient truth is that any living animal that was on that property, the city of Los Angeles had a moral, ethical, and legal obligation to remove in a humane way and not let them sit there and suffer and scramble and go deeper and deeper into the garage and get one by one killed.
Did you offer evidence to the city, to Stray Cat Alliance, and to Best Friends Animal Society? Did you offer them evidence that there were cats there, whether they were new or old. Did you offer them evidence that there were cats there?
I did send Brenda a few pictures of one of the cats, and he had come outside of the fence line just to, get some air and get away from the dirt. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, that's just evidence of cats that are just coming from other places. It doesn't prove to me that they're there.
And she did that in writing.
Yes, it was an email. I sent some pictures, and I couldn't believe that when
she responds to you.
Not anymore. No, at one time she had to engage at some level, but now she just doesn't reply. I can never get a reply from her.
You're blocked.
I'm blocked. I think I've been blocked. Yeah. So anyway, the dire situation is that the large, giant fleet of demolition trucks were there, and yet the cats were still living there.
Oh no!
And the reason, and people just scratch their heads, and they're really confused as to how this could be. If you're a cat and you were born there and you don't know anything else, you don't leave. There's nowhere for you to go. Across the street is nothing. Is the LA Times, which also I did ask many times to please come do a story. Please, it's right out your window. They never replied, not one time. And the LA Times is right across the street. Across the street on the other side is the mayor's building. And to the north is the criminal courts building, and to the other side is just another chunk of Grand Park, which there are some cats in that chunk, but they're also fed by the same people. I'm just talking about the ones that were confined behind the fence. Could they have left? Sure, they could have run away, but where to? The only reason why you have a group of cats together is for one reason, because someone's feeding them. Right. If you remove the food, they don't congregate on their own to hang out and have a party. That's not what they do.
I want to know the day it happened.
Okay,
talk to me about. What happened?
It was it was very stressful because the wrecking balls came in the end of May, all of June, all of July, every single day of those months. I walk by with my dog and I'm taking pictures. I'm documenting. I'm coming back in the evening. I'm talking to the feeders, and all this time I'm trying to get help because I see that it's just we're losing them bit by bit. They're disappearing under the rubble. It came down to the fact that I could see there was only going to be 20 feet left from the thing, and I finally was able to see where they were going underneath the rock pile. I watched them disappear in the rocks. They were going down into the left, what's left of the garage.
Had they started demolishing the site?
Everything was demolished except for the fringe area to the far side.
And those cats still in there?
Yes, there was 12.
You could see them?
Yes, I saw the night before I was arrested. I saw them they would come up at night to take the cooler air because during the day they would go underground. Okay, but the last bit was and it's a specific machine that stomps, it presses, and I knew where they were, and I thought,
oh God,
so they were
going to be buried alive,
right? So the morning of that day of August 5th, I came at 5:30 in the morning with my car. I usually walked, but for some reason I took my car, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I started calling animal cruelty task force. I called the police department. I called animal control, and I have screenshots.
The firemen, they save kittens.
You know what? The fire department says they don't save cats. If you call them, they'll tell you that flat out. They won't come.
They won't come get it out of a tree.
They won't come for cats.
Anymore?
It's a big mythology.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, that morning I started calling while I'm standing watching at the fence, and at 6:00 sharp, the gates open, and this horrible sound, which is embedded in my mind forever, it sounds like this: beep, 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 beep. That's the trucks backing up, and that's when the cats will disappear. The sound of that and the rumbling, they go under. So they did. They went under. And I stood there. I couldn't get anybody on the phone. No one would come. No one was interested. Same thing for 2 months. And the stress and the tension of this.
Did you get anyone on the phone at all?
Yes, they would talk to me. They said, we can't do anything.
Who?
Animal Cruelty Task Force said there was nothing they could do about it. Animal Control refused to come. They just had no interest.
What about some other organizations?
Best Friends already knew.
They were already cut.
Did you call them then?
I emailed Stacy Sanders at Best Friends. There was plenty of emails between us.
And what about some cat rescuers?
They weren't. No one was allowed in over the fence. That would be considered trespassing. So once they put the fence up. So I did know that I could get on the property, and I never had. Up to that point, I had never gone on because I don't violate laws, and there's no reason. I thought there's a legal way to do this. It's common sense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch animals be killed before my very eyes, or am I?
Right.
So I'm standing there with my phone, which had very low battery at that point, and something in my stomach just clenched, and I was like, I can't do that. I can't. I can't watch them be killed without someone standing up for them.
Yeah.
So I went on the property, and I was scared because the workers were hostile to the cats and had been taunting and making fun of us caring for them all these months. So I sat down on the bunker where I knew they were underneath me, and I got on my knees and I took a picture, and only one of them shows up in my picture because my iPhone is crappy and doesn't show in the dark, but I could see one of them.
Hold on. Just stay right there. We will take a quick break. This is heart-wrenching.
It's heart-wrenching.
But we need to know who's involved.
Who's responsible.
Who's responsible. Thank you, Carol.
Call in 818-353-1276. If you're one of the organizations who didn't respond to this, speak up.
Yeah, what's your
side?
Speak
up. What's your side of the story?
Stay tuned for more Critter Radio.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California. With the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Let's get back to Tina Marie on Critter Radio.
Welcome back, Tina Marie. Let's go here. Carol Raphael Davis and Whitney Smith. You are in the middle of your story. You're downtown LA, this building. There's kittens underneath. The bulldozers are coming in. Take me there.
Okay, so the morning of August 5th, around 6:30, I walked onto the property. And the reason is because I knew the only way to get animal control is to have the police call animal control. So I figured in a split second that if I just walked on there and sat on that bunker where they were underneath, that I would just put my body there. And then I knew the workers would call the police, great. And then the police would call animal control, great. And then finally I would get the help for them that they needed. We would stop this madness. The wrecking would stop for a couple of hours. We would get some traps in there, and we would finally get these animals to safety.
So you hopped the fence, or
I went through a crack.
You went in.
Yes, I went
okay.
in.
But
so the police came.
They did come.
And they arrested you?
You put yourself on a slab?
I sat down very quietly. The worker said, you have to leave. I said, I'm not leaving. You need to call the police. They called. I very calmly sat there. The officers came up. We had a very nice, calm conversation. Officers didn't get on their knees to look to see at the cats. They didn't even seem to believe that they were there. Oh. So I showed them the picture, and I said, just get on your knees and look. They're there. So then they said they were going to call the supervisor, the construction supervisor, because none of the workers knew how deep the ledge went back underneath the street. I said, okay, well, we'll wait. And I thought we were waiting for animal control. So I went back to the squad car where I sat, and very politely, even the officer said, oh, you seem like a really reasonable person. I said, well, I am.
Yeah.
I just want to get the cats humanely removed. And then some time went on. I was getting a little nervous, like where is animal control? They're not here. It was about a half an hour. So I walked back, and at that point, one of the cats that they called Princessa, who I can confirm is 100% dead, flew into the air, and I looked around really quickly, and I saw they had just been kicking dirt into the hole where they had gone to try and get them to come out. And they were all laughing. They thought this was very funny. And I was standing in the middle just like frozen, I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. Like, well, wait a minute. That's not what you told me that we were doing. And then, of course, I got upset. I said,
were these city workers or a private construction company?
It was a construction company hired by the city to do this demolition.
A contractor.
I have the name of that company I could provide later. But anyway, so I started saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? They have nowhere to go. The whole rest of the property was flat as a pancake. This was the only crevasse left for them to hide in. And at that point, one of the officers said, you're not being reasonable. And he grabbed my wrist and he put me in handcuffs and took me to the squad car.
And they brought you into the station?
I sat in the squad car for a very long time while they made jokes and thought it was really funny, and they actually were trying to decide
the cops or
the cops were talking with the workers hated the cats and thought it was really funny, so they all were bonding over this hilarity.
Yeah.
And then
you were in the cop car.
In the car, and my car was on the street, so I was already projecting that was going to get towed. My animals were at home unwalked. I did not feel it. I thought they were going to let me go because I live downtown. There's a lot of people, bums and crazy people. They don't ever get put in handcuffs. They give a warning.
Yeah.
You know, you just go on your way. No one ever asked me to leave either. The cops never asked me to leave. And at that cut, I might have said, okay, well, what is my negotiation here? Because I'm trying to help the cats. So they just made jokes and said, why do you care about the cats? The cats don't care about you. Why don't you save a squirrel? Why don't you save a pigeon? La, la, la.
This sounds very sexist, too.
Yeah,
very witch hunting to me.
Very, very, they thought it was very, very funny. And I said, just please let me go. Please let me go home. Oh, honey, you've got a lot more problems than just, your animals. And they took me down to the main office and
the police station?
The police station. And as we walked by the desk, all of the officers went like this. Meow, 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 meow. And one of them held up a stuffed toy and was shaking at me. And then one of the officers.
Do you have the names of these officers? Because I would really, really like to let them know that that's absolutely unacceptable.
Well, one of the officers said to me, one of the meaner officers, they're both mean, but one of them said, I see that officer over there. He was Asian. He said, they eat cats in his country. And that officer actually laughed. And then he pointed out another officer. He said, see that officer over there? He really hates cats. And he goes, yeah, I hate cats. This is all the way until I was fingerprinted and thrown into a solitary detention. I wasn't put in a room with other ladies and a TV the way they usually do. I was put in a room by myself for almost 18 hours with no information.
They usually only put you in your own room if you are a threat to yourself or others.
Well, that's how they describe me. So they really wanted to punish me and make sure I really suffered, which I would have done 1,000 times over if it had saved their lives. But unfortunately, when I was released at midnight with no keys, none of my things, because my friend had tried to get my car, but they took 2 hours to give my stuff back. So of course my car was towed. I went by of course I immediately went right back to the property to see who was there, and there was nobody there but one cat. And that cat subsequently was killed as well. So, yep.
Wow. This is so disgusting. It's like they framed you as a crazy cat lady just for standing up for animals that they were going to kill.
So the charges were not dropped immediately. I had to go into a hearing officer a couple of weeks later. I brought all of my pictures, and she almost couldn't even look at them. She was like, oh, and she didn't tell me exactly what they said. But
what are the pictures of?
Well, the pictures of the cats that were there, like all my evidence.
Where is this cat?
Dead.
Okay, we've got 1 minute left.
So after she saw just some of my evidence, she was like, we're going to drop the charges and, go in peace. So, they just, they lied. They never, I don't even know if they called animal control. I don't think that they did. And one of my favorite comments was, well, okay, so one of them ran out of the bunker. Isn't it better if they get run over in the street than crushed to death? I said, I didn't think those were my two choices living in this city, a first world city. I didn't think those were the choices we had.
I would think the cops would be afraid to talk to us like that.
Oh, no.
These days,
they don't, animals are like the bottom of the barrel. They don't care. There's a real deep animal hatred, particularly a cat hatred in the LAPD.
Not just the LAPD. I think just in general, there's real hatred of animals.
Yeah, stay tuned for more Critter Radio. We will be right back.
Call us up, 818-353-1276.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names.
Really?
They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now.
800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. That number again is 800-515-6309.
Back now to Critter Radio and your host, Tina Marie.
Welcome back to Critter Radio. Now, this has been a very touching, emotional, like Carol said, you're a hero. Tell us how we can help.
Well, this is just part of why we're upset with the administration of the Department of Animal Services.
Brenda Barnett,
and why she has to go.
Isn't her daughter doesn't her daughter work for Best Friends?
Yes,
Animal.
she does.
What is it?
Best Friends Animal Society.
She does work for her.
Yeah,
she gets paid, or she's
a paid worker.
She's
It's
not
awfully
volunteer?
cozy.
It's very cozy.
Wow,
yeah.
so I get it. Go ahead.
So,
unethical, to say the least.
Unethical, yes. It's called conflict of interest, really. I mean, you can't really do the city's work when you're catering to a large, well-funded organization.
What I don't get is they make close. I've looked at their tax returns. They make $60 million a year, and all they seem to be doing is spending money on
getting more money.
Getting more money. I think $18 million a year just with direct mailing, and they have like celebrity handlers.
Right.
Anybody who's giving money to an organization should give money to organizations that spend it on vet care, not celebrity handlers.
Right. Brenda Barnett. Now, how do we help?
We come to the next protest.
And that is at 605 South Irving Boulevard in Hancock Park.
Yes, it's the actual Mayor Garcetti's home. Yes. That's where he lives.
On August 1st.
Saturday.
August 1st. What time?
9 a.m.
August 1st.
Till 11.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Saturday. We usually have
Saturday.
been doing Sundays, but we're going to do Saturday to see if that helps people get there.
Yeah.
There's plenty of parking. It's not permitted. You will not have a problem getting parking. It's very
it was
luxurious.
easy to park. Yeah, I parked right in front of the mayor's
Yeah.
house. I'm like, hey.
You know,
Yeah.
And sometimes he is there, but he is refusing to dialogue with us, and that's all the goal of the protest is simply to get him to sit at
Yeah.
the table and listen to why we're upset and what needs to be reformed so we can have a shelter system that works for the animals.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to people who say that the protesting doesn't work, Whitney?
Yeah.
I would say I agree with your earlier comment that absolutely nothing has changed in America for
anywhere.
anywhere in the world unless you stand up and fight for
They do work.
for
the
what
end of
for justice. And justice has to be it is a battle because the system doesn't innately want to do the right thing. People don't innately want to do the right
They just want to
thing.
do the easiest, like,
Like I said, the whole thing with graffiti pit cats was it was an inconvenient truth, and it was easy to dismiss because they didn't speak and they don't vote. So the mayor didn't put that into his consideration.
What a shame.
It is.
Well, I say to people, come to the protest. I've been going to the protest. I'm going to go to the next protest.
Come to the protest. It's August 1st in front of Mayor Garcetti's house. The address is 605 South Irving Boulevard in Hancock Park.
Yeah,
as we say,
Yeah.
shelter lives matter. The
Yeah.
animals in the shelter do matter, even if they.
And the strays matter.
The strays are part of the whole
As
portrait.
they're sitting there on that cold floor, they don't know that we're all out there fighting for them, but we are.
That's the one difficult thing about protesting for animals is that other social justice causes, people have been able to protest for themselves. These are a group of individuals, large, billions of them. We have to be their voice. We have to. They can't speak for themselves.
Yeah, I know.
But it's our tax dollars that go to pay for this system, every penny of it. So it's very, very important. There's transparency, of which there is none. It's the most opaque department in all of city government, from what I can see, except maybe DWP. That's pretty opaque.
Whitney Smith, thank you so much for coming and
thanks
telling
for
us your
coming.
story. You're a real hero to me. Thank you for speaking out and standing up for those cats.
You are. Thank you, Carol.
They matter.
They do matter.
They do matter.
I'll never forget them.
And you know what?
And those cops that were mean to you, that is so horrible.
It's wrong.
They need
wrong.
to not be working as cops.
It's wrong.
Patriarchy.
Thank you for tuning into Critter Radio, guys. Join us every Sunday at noon Pacific time, live noon to 1. I got one thing to say before we go, guys. Hey, ho, ho!
Brenda Barnett has got to go.
See you next week. Critter Radio.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. Of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. But if cutting-edge technology is more your style, you'll be happy to know that CRN is now available on Wi-Fi radio. Simply log on to Reciva.com. That's RECIVA.com and look for CRN. You can access all of our great shows and listen live anywhere in the world. Be part of your favorite shows and get the full CRN listening experience you would have with any traditional radio, podcast, or a live stream from our website. For more information on where or how to listen, and for a full list of our programming, log on to crntalk.com and create your own listening experience today.
The radio channels. The radio channels.
With SRN News, I'm Gordon Griffin. Counterterrorism investigators continue to interview